Right friends, welcome back to questions and answers 17th week 25th April to 1st May in view of completion of 125 years of the last battle of independence, popularly known as Manipur's War of Independence. The last battle took place in 1891 in view of 125 years of last battle of independence against the mighty British army. The president of the country inaugurated a war monument at Kongjom. Kongjom is in Manipur on the highway towards Myanmar. Please look into this slide. This is the location of Kongjom War Memorial, and President inaugurated war monument at Kongjom. So if someone asks about Kongjom, it is in Manipur. What is the name given to 11th India-Mongolia Joint Training Exercises to promote military association? The name given to Joint Training Exercises is Nomadic Elephant 2016. These were held in Mongolia basically to have synergy and interoperability between the armies to battle in counter-insurgency and counter-terrorism environment. Nowadays, insurgency and terrorism, these are the main problems plaguing various countries, and under United Nations mandate, each and every country has to develop counter-insurgency and counter-terrorism strategies, and this will develop synergy and interoperability between the armies to battle in counter-insurgency and counter-terrorism. Scientists have confirmed the presence of Himalayan wolf in Annapurna Conservation Area. And this Annapurna Conservation Area is situated in Nepal, and this is the most efficient wolf lineage known, and it is listed as critically endangered. Laser walls have been made operational along the riverine stretches of India's international border with Pakistan. The intrusion of Pakistani nationals into India is taking place through riverine stretches, so as to control intrusion into Indian landscape. These laser walls were erected along the riverine stretches of India's international border with Pakistan, and they were recently made operational in Punjab. And basically, this is to prevent intrusion by terrorists. Cassini-Huygens spacecraft. Basically, the purpose of this spacecraft launched by NASA in association with other space organizations is to explore Saturn and its moon Titan. And Cassini-Huygens spacecraft found a huge sea on Saturn's moon, that is Titan, and the sea is composed of liquid methane. Please look into this slide. This sea on moon Titan composed of liquid methane, and this was found by Cassini spacecraft. Cassini spacecraft basically to explore Saturn and was sent by NASA in association with other space organizations. Look at the other question. Name the country which abandoned ultra high-tech satellite known as Hitomi or I. The country we are talking about is Japan. It was launched in association with NASA. It was launched around 2 months ago to find X-rays emanating from black holes and galaxy clusters. Our galaxy is Milky Way galaxy. Like that, several galaxies are there in the universe, and to look at X-rays emanating from not only galaxy clusters but also from black holes, this was launched, but after reaching the orbit, it lost control and it was abandoned finally. As part of Digital India program, Rahuri Municipal Council in Ahmednagar district of Maharashtra became the first to implement digital locker. Basically, this is for issuance of all essential documents, and the state we are talking about is Maharashtra, and this Rahuri Municipal Council is in Ahmednagar district. ISRO recently developed a mobile application named Smarak Citizen, and basically to detect encroachments around national monuments. Encroachments around national monuments are creating several problems, and this app is devised to detect encroachments around national monuments, and this was developed by ISRO based on a proposal from National Monuments Authority. Please don't forget, this National Monuments Authority is under the Ministry of Culture, Government of India, and it will also facilitate issue of construction permits around national monuments. Recently, Rajya Sabha was abruptly adjourned due to lack of quorum, and to have quorum, at least 10% of the members of the House should be present, and on that day the attendance fell to less than 10%. That's why it was adjourned. So 10% is the minimum required strength for the parliament to function or to conduct its business. Please don't forget. In view of the crisis over balance of payments position, you may ask what is meant by balance of payments. Balance of payments are financial transactions of one country with all other countries. The incoming dollars, the outgoing dollars, you have to make them in one statement. Why I uttered the word dollars is basically with a view that international trade is taking place mostly in dollars, or otherwise you can say the total account of financial transactions of one particular country with other countries of the globe is known as the balance of payments. And in view of the crisis over balance of payments position, International Monetary Fund along with the World Bank were formed subsequent to Second World War to reconstruct badly damaged Europe, and this International Monetary Fund agreed to provide extended fund facility of $1.5 billion over a period of 3 years, and the country we are talking about is Sri Lanka. And this extended fund facility is provided by International Monetary Fund to countries which are experiencing serious balance of payment crisis due to structural impediments, and Sri Lanka is facing similar difficulty nowadays. As per the Union Power Minister Piyush Goyal, Ujala will be implemented across the country by 2019. What is meant by Ujala? Ujala is basically Unnat Jyoti by affordable LEDs for all. It is being implemented by EESL. You may ask, what is EESL? EESL is Energy Efficiency Services Limited, and this was launched in May 2015, and in Madhya Pradesh this was launched on 1st May 2016, and the goal is to replace 77 crore incandescent bulbs by 2019, and it will result in annual benefit of rupees 40,000 crore. Basically, this is improving energy efficiency. Please look into this slide. Incandescent bulbs, highly inefficient bulbs. If you look at energy, then followed by fluorescent tube, then came compact fluorescent lamp or CFL popularly known as. Now it is the turn of LED bulbs. LED bulbs are highly energy efficient. Right now, India is gradually switching over to LED bulbs, and for that purpose, this Ujala was launched last year, and now in the year 2016, in May, this was launched in Madhya Pradesh. Name the High Court which termed the reservation in promotions in state as unconstitutional. The state we are talking about is Madhya Pradesh. The Madhya Pradesh High Court stated that reservation in promotions in state as unconstitutional. Researchers of China have developed the world's first graphene electronic paper, and it has high light transmittance. That means optical displays will be much brighter. In comparison to LCDs, graphene e-papers are thinner, bendable and energy efficient. Please look into this slide, the difference between graphene e-paper and LCD display. At the same time, please look into this slide so as to have comprehensive view of the difference between graphene e-paper and LCD display. Subrato Bagchi, one of the co-founders of Mindtree, was appointed as the head of the Odisha Skill Development Authority. He is the co-founder of Mindtree and he was given the rank of cabinet minister. He will work with a token monthly salary of just ₹1 and his native state is the Odisha, please don't forget. Name the state government which decided to provide 10% reservation to economically backwards in general category. The state we are talking about is Gujarat. After Patidar's agitation, government took this decision, but the total reservations have crossed 50%. We have to wait for the signal of Supreme Court. One day or the other, Supreme Court will definitely strike it down. Government also may be knowing about this. Name the state which is worst hit by forest fires. Recently, Uttarakhand was worst hit by forest fires and Pauri, Tehri and Nainital are the worst hit in Uttarakhand and the spread of these fires is fast due to pine trees which catch fire easily. Prime Minister launched Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana basically to provide the subsidized LPG connections to below poverty line families at Balia in Uttar Pradesh. And this was launched at Balia in Uttar Pradesh and this is rupees 8,000 crore scheme to provide 5 crore deposit free LPG connections to poor families. Each family will get rupees 1,600 per each connection. That means initially 1,600 rupees will be provided by the central government and total 5 crore connections will be given during the next 3 years and 2016-17 itself 1.5 crore connections will be given. Women beneficiaries from below poverty line families will be given connections. Look into the next one. Real Estate Regulation and Development Act 2016 came into force on 1st May and because of this, real estate regulatory authorities will be established shortly. The capital of Papua New Guinea is Port Moresby. Why I asked this question is, recently President of our country visited Papua New Guinea and New Zealand. And this country, Papua New Guinea, got independence from Australia in 1949 and it is the nation in Pacific Ocean. Population is around 70 lakhs and 4 MOUs were signed when the president of the country visited Papua New Guinea. During the visit of the president, India offered $100 million line of credit for development of infrastructure in Papua New Guinea. As I have already told you, this is one of the 4 MOUs signed when the president visited Papua New Guinea and the 4 MOUs are $100 million credit line, healthcare and medical sciences, field of agriculture, field of IT. Founder of non-governmental organization Kwendo Jirka, the meaning is Sisters Council, who is fighting for women's rights in Swat Valley region of Pakistan, Tabassum Adnan, won the prestigious 2016 Nelson Mandela Graça Machel Innovation Award. She belongs to Pakistan. She won the award in individual activist category and the winner will get a funding value of $5,000 and the award was presented on the concluding day of the International Civil Society Week held in Bogota in Colombia and she is the second Pakistani to get this prestigious award after Malala Yousafzai, right? Election Commission launched the e-voter mobile app indicating the comprehensive details about the assembly polls in Kerala and don't forget, it will facilitate voters with information on electoral rolls, contesting candidates, location of polling station, etc. Vostochny Cosmodrome is being built by Russia and this cosmodrome is required for Russia because the cosmodrome of the erstwhile USSR is situated now in Kazakhstan, which is well known Baikonur Cosmodrome. Baikonur Cosmodrome is in Kazakhstan, which is serving Russia also. And this Baikonur Cosmodrome was developed when the undivided USSR was in existence. and now Russia is developing its own cosmodrome, which is Vostochny Cosmodrome, and first rocket Soyuz 2-1 was launched recently, and it will become fully operational by 2018. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to address the joint meeting of the United States Congress on June 8, 2016, and he will be the fifth Prime Minister to get this honor from India. The first Prime Minister to address the joint session of US Congress was Rajiv Gandhi in 1985, P.V. Narasimha Rao in 1994, Atal Bihari Vajpayee in 2000 and Manmohan Singh in 2005, and Narendra Modi will be the fifth Prime Minister to get this honor. Parliament recently passed Constitution Scheduled Caste Order Amendment Bill 2016. This is as per Article 341 of the Constitution, please don't forget, and this is to include certain communities into Scheduled Caste category from 4 states, that is Chhattisgarh, Haryana, Kerala and West Bengal, and it has also got provisions for exclusion of certain communities in Odisha. IRNSS constitutes a constellation of 7 satellites. The last in the series, IRNSS 1G was recently launched from Satish Dhawan Space Center, Sriharikota by PSLV C-33 rocket, and shortly India will have its own navigation system. For this purpose, 7 satellites of IRNSS series were launched, and out of 7, 3 are geostationary and 4 are non-geostationary, and the constellation of these 7 satellites will give real-time position information of objects to users across the country and in the region extending to an area of 1500 kilometers beyond India. So, India shortly will have its own navigation system, just like GPS, just like Beidou of China, right? Kunpeng 1B sounding rocket was launched by China, and basically this will do research in upper layers of atmosphere. It is now made mandatory for mobile manufacturers to add inbuilt panic button from 1st January 2017. So, all the mobiles from 1st January 2017 will have panic button in case of emergencies. At the same time, from 1st January 2018, all the mobiles will have GPS facility, and the government notified under Indian Wireless Telegraphy Act of 1933. ISSF World Cup Championships were held in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and this International Shooting Sport Federation is headquartered in Germany, and Miraz Ahmad Khan of India won the silver medal. Don't forget, he became the first Indian shooter to win a skeet medal for India at a World Cup. Please look into this map. This is Rio de Janeiro, where Olympics are going to be held shortly. 2018 Commonwealth Judo Championships will be held at Jaipur, and you may ask, what is Judo? Judo is categorized as modern martial art and was conceptualized in Japan in 1882, and for the first time Commonwealth Judo Championships will be held in India, that is Jaipur. Name the Indian automobile company which has become the first Indian company to sign up for EP100. You may ask, what is EP100? EP100 is basically the campaign by the Climate Group, a non-governmental organization, basically to increase energy productivity so as to reduce the burning of fossil fuels. The productivity is to be increased with the technological innovations. That is the main goal of EP100, and Mahindra became the first Indian company to join EP100, and Mahindra committed to double energy productivity by 2030. Heart of Asia Conference. Basically, the purpose of Heart of Asia Conference is to ensure peace in Afghanistan. Peace and stability of Afghanistan is very much essential for ensuring peace in the region as a whole. With that in mind, this Heart of Asia was conceived as part of Istanbul process of 2011. At present, there are 14 member countries, and the core concept, as I have already told you, the stability of Afghanistan is essential for stability of the region as a whole, and this conference was held in New Delhi, and the objective is to bring peace and stability in Afghanistan. Shyam Benegal Committee, basically it is to look into the functions of a censor board, or you can say CBFC, both are one and the same, Central Board of Film Certification or Censor Board, both are one and the same. To look into the functions of Censor Board, Shyam Benegal Committee was constituted and it submitted its report recently. Recently, 400th death anniversary of William Shakespeare was observed. Famous English poet, playwright, and regarded as the greatest writer in English language. He was born in United Kingdom, and recently 400th death anniversary was observed. He was the author of Hamlet, Julius Caesar, Romeo and Juliet, and one of the world's best English poets and playwright. An 8-member panel headed by Ashok Dalwai was constituted basically to prepare a blueprint to double farmers' income by 2022. There are several flagship programs of this government. Farmers' income is to be doubled by 2022, Housing for All by 2022, Swachh Bharat by 2019, 175 gigawatt of renewable energy by 2022. These are all the flagship programs of government. And with regard to agriculture, government wants to achieve by diversifying to horticulture and allied activities like livestock and fisheries to boost income. So, if someone talks about this doubling of farmers' income, that is by 2022, it is the dream of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Capital Small Finance Bank. This was previously local area bank. During 1990s, local area banks were established, and this was previously Capital Local Area Bank, headquartered in Jalandhar, and it is one of the 10 small finance banks for which licenses were given by Reserve Bank of India, and now Capital Small Finance Bank became the first to start operations from April 24, and it is based in Jalandhar. And if someone asks about the first small finance bank which started its operations, that is the Capital Small Finance Bank. And don't forget, RBI gave licenses to 10 small finance banks and 11 payment banks in somewhere around September 2015, and these are called differentiated banks. Please don't forget. These are differentiated banks. They are different from universal banks. SBI, ICICI Bank, Vijaya Bank, Bank of Baroda, these are all universal banks. They can do any type of operation, but these banks can do only certain type of operations. That's why they are called differentiated banks. So, small finance banks have to ensure 75% of their lending to priority sector, and the priority sector lending target for universal banks is 40%, but for small finance banks 75% of their lending should go to priority sector, and 50% of their loan portfolio should consist of loans and advances up to rupees 25 lakh only. These are the important stipulations for small finance banks. Look at the last question. The parent company of Augusta Westland VVIP helicopters is Finmeccanica. Recently it is into the news. This Finmeccanica is Italy-based Anglo-Italian company, and if you go back to history, the deal to purchase 12 Augusta Westland VVIP helicopters was awarded at a value of around rupees 3,600 crores and was cancelled in 2014. And now the Court of Appeal in Milan, Italy sentenced Chief of Augusta Westland's parent company Finmeccanica, and now it is conclusively proved by Italy that bribes were paid to Indians. And now Indian government has to find out who got those bribes. Right friends, with this let us conclude questions and answers. Have a nice day. Thank you.